Well, I'm almost leery of coming down here and doing anything today because I screwed up an omelet this morning. Screwed it up, tore it in half, just destroyed the omelet when I was doing my flip. And that's a pretty good indication of how the day's going to go. Anyway, this is, I usually cut these a little closer to the metal. And the reason I didn't is because I had a little slop in one of the pins. And I wanted to leave it plenty of room to settle in. And so now I'm going to put it on my bandsaw, cut off what doesn't belong there. First, I got to tape this up. I still have to rebuff this because, you know, it's got schmutz on it. But I don't want to put any big scratches in it. So I tape that off, and then I get to work on the handle. And then, oh yeah, this is straight. I put it, it didn't warp, but I heat treated it. And then I immediately put it in my straightening jig and put it in the tempering oven just so I wouldn't have to deal with a warp. And it's straight. So I'm going to work on this handle and then work on this handle. I mean, actually, I got to sand it and buff it. But I'll have the handles epoxied on before the day is out. And it's about 9:30. I just want to say this. Somebody in yesterday's video, somebody said something that I disagreed with. And I just want you to know that we can disagree and have differing opinions and still be friends, okay? I'm not one of them that you have to think like me or we just can't be friends anymore. So I just want you to know that you can have, and you can say your opinion in the comments, and, we can have differing opinions. I'm an adult, and you sure do lose friends and acquaintances if everybody has to think like you or me, and I'm old enough to know that everybody's got their own opinions, and opinions are like elbows. Everybody's got a couple. So I just wanted to say that just because we may disagree on something doesn't mean that I don't want you to be my friend, okay? So let's just move on. And it was about the Ukraine war. Some people support Ukraine, and I'm okay with that. Me personally, I don't see how you can support Ukraine if you don't have if you don't have any skin in the game. And if they're not empty words and you really support one country over another, I think you would be over there sacrificing or, I don't know. Like I say, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. And I'm not saying just because it's my opinion, it's the only correct opinion. So I feel differently. And here's another thing. The commander-in-chief that's responsible for perpetuating these wars is a frickin' draft dodger. Joe Biden got deferment after deferment after deferment from the Vietnam War when his draft notice came up, when he was going to be drafted. So most people who didn't want to get drafted, they stayed in college because that protected him from the draft. And then when he ran out of draft deferments, now this man, Joe Biden, played college football and tennis and all the other, probably polo and all the other stuff rich people play, and had no problem breathing, right? Well, when he ran out of deferment, suddenly he developed asthma, which prevented him from being drafted. And now that man is commander-in-chief in charge of sending your children and mine into battle. How the hell does this work? How can a draft dodger, and don't get me wrong, Trump was a draft dodger as well. I'm not saying that he should have gone to Vietnam. I'm saying that somebody who dodged the draft should not be in charge of sending your kids into battle. That's what I'm saying. And Trump was a draft dodger. Clinton was a draft dodger. How in the hell did these draft dodgers get in a position where they're responsible for the lives of your children. Anyway, I'm going to stop thinking about it. It pisses me off. I'm not going to stop talking about it. I'm really, that to me, that is the most puzzling thing about presidents. How on earth can a person dodge the draft and then become commander-in-chief where they're responsible for sending your children and my children into battle? Trump, to his credit, did not want, he wanted to withdraw from Afghanistan, but the war hawks, the Democrats, the rhinos, would not let him withdraw from Afghanistan. And you know why? There's a lot of people that make a lot of money quick off investing in armaments and rockets and even right down to the bullet makers. Everybody who makes military battle equipment, from gas masks down to combat boots, benefits, and everybody who holds stock in those companies benefits. So that's another thing. I don't think anybody who holds stock in a war manufacturing company should have any say in whether we continue wars or not. All right, let's get out of here. Alrighty then. Now that we're over my speeches, this is looking good. And I did a lot of work on a belt sander. And then I took my die grinder and the initial scratches I take out with a die grinder. And then I start with 220. And from here on up, it's 220. And then I go up to about 600. And then I put it on a buffer. So we will see you in a couple hours. Okay. That is sanded up to 600. Now, we're fixing to go put this on the buffer and see if we can't make this Turkish walnut shine. I don't know if this is stabilized or not. I think Turkish walnut is sort of like desert ironwood. It's such a dense, heavy wood that it wouldn't absorb the cactus juice. Basically, that's what people use to stabilize wood. It's called cactus juice. All right, let's go put this on the buffer. We'll be back in a minute. I'm going to buff the whole thing. So this thing will be ready to be put in its sheath here in about 30 minutes, I guess. Just a minute. Okay, just a second. Now we go put a coat of wax on this and I'll show you the final flavor. Okay. I have the sheath made. I'll show you the final thing when I get home, but this is for sale. $165 if you want it, let me know. Now, I'm going to get started on that sharp finger. And before I go home, I should have the redwood lace burl epoxied onto it. I got to go out and cut that in half on my table saw. All right, I'm going to give this one more coat of polish, and I still got wax all over this rag, so I got to use another rag to get the wax off, because I'm not waxing off. I'm waxing on and waxing on again. So, all right, it's done. The last clip of this will be with its sheath. Okay, this is next. It's still got a whole bunch of polish on it, but I got to acetone this up. And this is what the handles are going to look like. And that's that redwood lace burl. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and epoxied on, and then I'm going to go home and eat brisket. Alrighty. See you tomorrow. Hey, ribeye. Hey, T-Bone. All right. It is done and ready for sale. $165. If anybody wants it, let me know.